I'd like to invite some of the self-advocacy groups that we have uh, here in Arizona. I don't have any particular order, but I know that we have some self-advocacy groups represented here. So Holly, Oliver is
Hey,
one, and then we also have Elton Yazi. Do we have any other self-advocacy groups here that would like to talk about who they are? All right, well,
Ryan's here, guys.
what was that?
Ryan from Easy Achieve.
Brian.
Ryan Berry.
Oh, well, definitely. Can also present. Holly, would you like to tell us about your self-advocacy group?
Oh,
And I believe,
absolutely. I'll go first before everybody else does. How do you guys feel?
yeah, why not? Holly, do you have a presentation you'd like to share with us? Or a PowerPoint or whatever?
Yes, we're going to share it together. Where are you, Mom? I'll do it myself then.
Oh, is Dawn also?
Yeah, she's here because we were going to talk about our Autism Society group.
Go ahead, Holly. I'm here. I'm here if you need me.
All right.
Dawn Oliver, right?
Correct.
Okay, I don't know if we could pin her also or spotlight her.
All right, I'm going to get the slides open now. You want me to share it, or do you want me to share it, Mom?
Hey Holly, do you have a second audio device in in your space? You're echoing and it's starting to make feedback noise.
No, I'm in the same house as my mom. That's all.
Yeah, we might have to have one of you guys mute your microphones because or if you guys want to take turns, then one of you mute your microphone at the time. So that way it doesn't have that echo.
Fortunately, I'm muted the whole time, but it's still echoing. Maybe I need to X out of the.
No, it's good now because it looks like Holly is muted right now.
Yeah, but I was muted and she wasn't, and she was still echoing. So I'm gonna
Oh.
mute. Yeah, I'm gonna mute again.
All right, Holly, you want to try it?
Oh, okay, I'm here.
Maybe try turning down your speakers.
Lower the volume.
Yeah.
Right, that might be better.
Yeah.
Right, let's see. Gotta get the slideshow on. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, welcome. So, we're gonna talk about the young adult neurodiverse support group. Hi, I'm Holly Oliver. I am one of the co-leaders of this group. I work at the UCLA Tarjan Center as the disability rights advocate remotely, and I'm also a graduate from the University of Arizona.
They're down.
Yep. All right, so the Young Adult Neurodiverse Support Group, so we hold it in person monthly, normally on Saturday mornings from 10:30 to 12 p.m. So all the people that attend the young adults part, all the young adults that attend have a diagnosis of autism, ADHD, or a learning disability. Each attendee are learning about self-advocacy or learning to become a self-advocate, building connections, friendships, support networks, and social involvement and shared interests. The diagnosis is not necessary because we get people that get diagnosed late that come. We get people that haven't even got diagnosed their whole life, but they knew they struggled. So they come to our group and they feel very welcome. And this group is for young adults, like I said, 17 to age 35. We join us for activities. So here is one of the presentations. My mom is also a leader. We usually like have the young adults in a circle here, and mom has a presentation there. So we do activities, small group discussions, advocacy updates, because there's always things that I learn from my job as an advocate, and also any of the other webinars I attend. I like to update the advocates about what's going on in the state. Social skills lessons. Each meeting features all kinds of different lessons, but it's also kind of fun because it's kind of interactive. It encourages discussion. Registration is required on the phoenixautism.org site. That is for the Autism Society of Greater Phoenix. My mom is right there, the educator, parent advocate, leading the group. The structure of the meetings, the typical structure is that we do serve snacks. My mom sometimes buys donuts, or sometimes we make things, you know, like those cookies, or it may be something else. Sometimes parents are nice and they will bring food in. Usually when we give the food, it's a really good thing because a lot of the kids come hungry. They didn't eat breakfast or lunch, and they eat and socialize for the first half of each meeting. So it's a time of learning. It's a time of sharing. So please join us monthly. So I'm going to talk about the other portion of the meeting. That is the parent portion. So my dad, Mark Oliver, leads the parent group. Parents, guardians, and caregivers of young adults in this meeting may join us in person for this part of the group. So those that are joining on Zoom, they don't have to necessarily join with their parents. Their parents can help them maybe get online, but the parents can help them get online, but I'm just saying the parents don't participate in the Zoom portion, only in the in-person. So go back. So there is no meeting in June, July. We're taking off for the summer, obviously, and the Arizona heat. So we're going to start back in August. So the next date is August 30th at 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. So we typically meet at Foothills Christian Church in Glendale, Arizona, or on Zoom, because we have people that are from other parts of the state, or people that who lived here in Arizona that moved to other states that join us sometimes on Zoom. So we have a Zoom option for those that can't make it in person. So if you want more information, you can contact my mom at dawn.nvasdgroup@yahoo.com, and you can mention this conference.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Holly and Dawn, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm
I'm gonna put the email in the chat for you guys so you can do it.
Awesome. I do have
you did already?
Huh? I was gonna say I do have a website where I do have all the self-advocacy groups. Unfortunately, I do not have your information. You're a new group to me, so oh Jesus Christ. Some car just zoomed by. All right, sorry about that. There is our website where we do have the contact information for the self-advocacy groups. I do not have your guys' information there because you guys are new to me, so I will be in contact with you if you could please send me your logo and contact information, phone number, email, if you have any social media pages, I can put links to that. And then also your mission statement. So, or what you guys do. And then I can add that to the website so that people can visit us and get more information from you guys. All right.
Sydney asked a question in the chat. She asked what you guys talk about in your in-person meetings.
Oh yeah, we talk about it, all kinds of things. So normally I attend a lot of different webinars, so sometimes I carry over that information. The last thing we talked about was actually about regarding the negative comments that people said towards people with autism. There was somebody in power, I'm not going to mention any names, that said something really negative. So we talked about what could they do to stand up for themselves, and also what could they do to contact their legislators or other people in power so that they can tell them that 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 autism is not something that you can cure. Autism is part of them. They can get a job. They can function in this society, and that sort of thing. They need to let people know that, so that way we won't go backwards with this. We need to go forwards so that their rights don't get taken away.
That is great. That is great information.
And George, I can send you the link. I mean, I can send you the link because I have both people who, if they come to me through this, can reach us. We send out an e-bite, and then also people can reach out to us through the Autism Society. So I'll get the information to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Well, there you go. All right, let's see. We have other self-advocacy groups here. Elton, would you like to tell us about your self-advocacy group? Is Elton still here?
Yeah, George, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Took me a while to find the unmute button.
Elton, I'm gonna share my my screen. I'm gonna share the information that we have on you on our website. I was looking at the information you sent me. It's the same information.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Elton Yazi. I am president of a disability advocacy group called Northern Arizona Tribal Disability Coalition. The group was created about 5 years ago, back January 2020, with some individual disability that we appeared on the Navajo Nation. We're located in Northern Arizona. We were participants or clients at Assist Independence, where we got some leadership training classes, and then we decided to get the advocacy group going. We've been going strong since then, with the help from George Garcia and I believe Southwest Institute. We were able to get our logo created with a grant that they had asked us to sign up for. It was a small grant. We were able to do that, and then also get some promotional items like T-shirts, pins, clear bags with our logos on them. Now, what the group does is we advocate, not just on the Navajo Nation. We have a couple of members from the Hopi tribe as well, and we are now currently statewide. Basically, we're also a part of Arizona Achieve, which is Ryan Berry. I believe I heard that he was on the call, is the project coordinator. We were with George's group at first, but Ryan stole us from them, so we end up with Ryan Berry. And then we're also we have one of our members that's a part of People First of Arizona. She's an at-large member, so She's with Lynn Black and those guys on that side. I myself am also a member of an advisory council here on the Navajo Nation called the Navajo Nation Advisory Council on Disability, which is the official advocacy body for people with disability across the Navajo Nation. But we've been collaborating before I even became advisory council with the coalition. So, and then we also try to go communicate with the Native American Disability Law Center as well, which is a law firm up here in the Four Corner region. They have an office in Farmington and another one in Flagstaff. And we have monthly coalition meetings that we hold on the second Tuesday of each month. Currently, we're doing it in the evening time from around 6 p.m. Local time.
Yeah.
And then we also have special meetings in between. And then we just recently adopted a peer mentoring group session that we've been doing for a while, but it wasn't really officially a part of the coalition. So we made it official a couple of months back. And with that, we just currently got what we call a position opened up for a peer mentoring facilitator. So, but she lives out in Salt Lake City, and she conducts that session on the fourth Tuesday of each month. So during our meetings, we talk about issues pertaining to disability, not only on the Navajo Nation, but throughout the state of Arizona, like I said. And also from time to time, I get invited to at the federal level with the disability, the national disability, what was it called?
Council.
National National Council on Disability. I'm sorry, I almost forgot the name. But yeah, because with the advisory council on the Navajo Nation, our president there is also a part of the NCD, the National Council on Disability. So, and he was appointed by former President Biden, and he's still a current member. So from time to time, they have quarterly meetings. They invite us as well to advocate at the national level. And but yeah, during our meetings, we talk about issues. We reach out to our local government agencies here in the Navajo Nation, advocating for disability issues such as transportation. And right now, a couple of us are working here locally in Tuba City, where I'm located. We do have our annual fair that goes on. And one of my colleagues with the advisory council and myself and the vice president of the coalition, we got together and we advocated for better accommodations up at our local fairground, and which we were able to get them to put up a concrete pathway to help people with disability. And we tell them that it's not only for people with disability, it's pretty much for our elders and parents of young children that are still in strollers or wagons. So we said a lot of these things that we ask for, we're just not asking for ourselves as a person with disability. I myself am a blind person, so asking for these accommodations, I tell them it's not personally for me, it's for our future generation to come, because disability is always going to be a part of us, no matter where we go. We do, the vice president and myself, we also been going around to our local businesses and talking to some of them, and some areas they were able to allow us to put Braille stickers on their fountain soda machines. And now we're talking about maybe talking to them again to see if they can, like our local restaurants, to see if they can do some better accommodations for, I guess, pretty much everybody with their menu, like put it in QR code format. Because we did travel to Washington, D.C., thanks to Ryan Berry and the Arc of Tempe and Arc of Arizona last month in April to take part of disability policy seminar. And being there, we did find out that a few of the restaurants that were out there, they use QR codes for their menus. And that made it a lot easier for not only myself, but the vice president is also blind to go through the menu. So that was an idea that she brought up, like we should work on this out here. So maybe I'll have her introduce herself. She's here with me too.
Hello, my name is Heather Joe. I'm the vice president to the coalition group. And like he was saying that we are working with our local businesses out here, especially the hospital, because they were not upgraded with a lot of things. So we help them like have better customer services and just getting around the hospital without bumping into stuff or running into things that are in people's ways. And then just kind of giving them like a training on how they can help people with disabilities.
Okay, thank you, Heather. And yeah, and then we, like I said, we've been collaborating with the Navajo Nation Advisory Council on Disability. And with that advisory council, when I'm a part of that, we work with our local government, the three branches of our local government, which is the legislative, executive, and judicial branch. The president of that advisory council found out about the coalition, like I said, back in 2020. So they were interested. He's a employee from the Native American Disability Law Center, and they were interested in the advocacy group. So they reached out to us, and we've been working with them since then. And then it slowly expanded down into the Phoenix area with George Garcia, and then also with David Carey from the Arizona Disability Advocacy Coalition. Currently, we're also working on another project that's slowly being in the work. I mean, well, it's starting to take off, which is bringing some training for blind individuals, blind and low vision individuals up here in northern Arizona, because we don't have anything like that. So we reached out to Savvy Service Sort of Blind. They do have a facility there in Phoenix and another one in Tucson. And this coming Friday on the 23rd, there's a listening session that's scheduled to be held in Flagstaff, and then another one on the 29th, I believe, in Prescott. So we're slowly working on that. The advisory council members also know about it, so we're trying to collaborate with them as well, along with maybe a couple of our local leadership too, to see if we can bring such training up this way. What George has shared is our information, our group logo that we were able to get done back in 2020, and I believe it should have the contact information, such as our cell phone number that I use for people to contact me, and the email as well. Thank you, George, and I'll give it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And yes, we did share your logo and we did share your contact information. I will be posting the link in the chat where you can find that information along with the other self-advocacy groups that we do have their contact information for. Ryan, would you like to tell us a little bit about Arizona Achieve and Self and all those good organizations?
I would love to. Thank you so much, George. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right. Okay, so again, my name is Ryan Berry. I'm the project director for Arizona Achieve. For a visual description, I'm a young man in my mid-20s. I have black hair, a mustache. I'm wearing a brown sweatshirt, and I'm sitting at a desk in my room. First things first, I do want to clarify something Elton said. We have not stolen anybody. Everybody who is part of the coalition is there willingly. But you know, Elton loves to give me a hard time. But
we are working together.
We are working together. That is right. So what is Arizona Achieve? So we are the statewide self-advocacy coalition. We're sponsored by the ARC of Arizona and funded by the Arizona Developmental Disability Planning Council. We help people with disabilities from all corners of the state come together to help each other speak up and advocate on disability issues. Today, I'm very honored to share some of the work that our coalition has been doing and some of our different programs. I quickly want to outline what the mission of Arizona Achieve is, and then some of the activities that we do to fulfill that mission. So the coalition's mission is to create a movement in Arizona that restores the agency of individuals with disabilities so they can solve problems in their own lives and within their communities. And the coalition is made up of 7 self-advocacy groups, many of which are here today. And we have over 50 participating self-advocate members from 9 counties across Arizona. And together we accomplish our mission through a self-advocacy framework. And this circle diagram on screen here represents the framework that we use to understand advocacy at every level. And at the very center, it's no surprise that it is self-advocacy, the reason that we're all here today. And self-advocacy means using your voice to tell others how you feel, what you want, and what you need. And that is the foundation of Arizona Achieve. Before we can advocate for others or push for policy change at our state capitol, we first have to know how to speak up for ourselves. And so as the circles expand outward, they show how self-advocacy can grow beyond the individual. Like in the next outer circle here, we have peer and group advocacy. This is where we come together to support one another and solve problems as a team, as a coalition. Again, this might happen one-on-one in our peer mentorship program or in a larger setting like our coalition meetings. But here is where members become part of a broader self-advocacy community, where what unites us isn't just diagnosis or impairments, it's a shared desire to be heard. And that's something that crosses every identity, culture, and difference. And that collective voice is what helps us reach our outermost circle, which is systems advocacy. So that means fighting, for big changes on the laws, policies, and systems that affect our daily lives. Now, while this might seem like a natural progression of the advocacy journey, it's important to say that you don't need to reach every level to be a self-advocate. Just speaking up for yourself is very powerful. But when we engage in group, peer, or systems advocacy, we amplify that self-advocate voice and we strengthen our coalition's message. So even if testifying at the state legislature or writing a letter to a lawmaker isn't your personal goal, actions like those remind the world that self-advocates are agents of change and not just observers. And that belief that self-advocates can and should lead is what guides everything that we do as a coalition. So within this framework, we carry out many activities to advance our mission. Let me skip ahead here. One of the key ways that we stay connected is through our monthly coalition meetings, which are held on the first Friday of every month at 2 p.m. So these meetings give us a chance to build relationships with one another, learn from each other, and unite around shared goals. They also serve as a great entry point if you're new to the coalition. It's kind of a sampler of all the different things that we do. Like our last meeting, for example, we recapped our recent trip to Washington, D.C. We discussed what's happening with Medicaid at the federal level. We reacted to the recent controversial comments about autism made by some federal officials. And then we also made plans for an upcoming in-person retreat. And as you can see, these meetings aren't just news and updates. It's kind of a launch pad for all our work. So, whether you're looking to learn, connect, or take action, these monthly meetings are really where it all begins at Arizona Achieve. Another thing we do is traveling across Arizona to lead self-advocacy workshops. These workshops allow us to connect with people with disabilities in communities where conversations about self-advocacy might not happen as often. We've hosted them in a lot of different settings, disability conferences, day programs, parent support groups. The photo on the left side of the screen here is from one of our workshops that we conducted in Nogales, where we partnered with a local day program. And that event was really great. It featured both a city council member and a state senator. And it gave people with disabilities and their families the chance not only to learn about self-advocacy, but also to put it into practice by engaging directly with their elected officials. We also adapt our workshops to respond to current pressing disability issues. For example, when there were concerns, and there still is, about public safety power shutoffs, we quickly organized a workshop with the American Red Cross, and we held a workshop in Prescott Valley. So there we focused on the role of self-advocacy in emergency preparedness, helping people speak up about their needs before, during, and after a disaster or emergency. So all of our workshops are guided by a comprehensive 260-page self-advocacy curriculum that kind of covers everything from sharing your story as a self-advocate to how the process and how to join a community board. And soon this curriculum will be available on our website as a virtual online course. There you can watch videos, do activities, take quizzes, and track your progress as you move through the different curriculum chapters. So we're really excited to launch that, so please stay tuned. We also run a peer mentorship program, so where we match coalition members together to work on action steps and reach their personal goals. And each one of the pairs that we form is unique. Some pairs form a more traditional mentor-mentee relationship, while others take a more collaborative approach and maybe work on the same goal together. And each cohort in the program runs for 3 months, where the pairs regularly meet on Zoom. During that time, an advisor like myself helps guide the process by supporting the pair, by providing resources as they work through each of the action steps on their goal sheets. And at the end, both members graduate from the program and celebrate what they have accomplished. And as you can see from the photos on screen here, these are some of our past graduates holding up their peer mentorship certificates. Then we have systems advocacy, where we work on legislative and policy change. And a recent example of this, like Elton just mentioned, is when we took a trip to the Disability Policy Seminar in Washington, D.C. We had the privilege of bringing a delegation from the Northern Arizona Tribal Disability Coalition to advocate with their congresspeople on the issue of public transit and Medicaid. So on the left side of the screen here, you'll see a photo of coalition member Heather Joe, who just spoke before me, standing and speaking with the chief of staff for her representative Eli Crane. And then the second picture is us on the steps of the United States Capitol building, myself, Elton, and Heather. And so this is one of the more glamorous examples, I would say, of our systems advocacy, but it is just one piece of a larger picture. We focus on all different levels of government, from writing letters and visiting with our state lawmakers to helping inform policy change at the local level. Because no matter where the change is happening, self-advocates deserve a seat at the table. And along the way, Arizona Achieve supports members with resources on our newsletters and website. We have a bi-monthly newsletter that we send out called the Disability Watch Roundup, where we speak about prominent disability issues in clear, simple language. Each edition talks about things that are either in the news, we spotlight self-advocate stories, and we feature exciting disability initiatives that are happening across the Valley and the country. And during the legislative session, which is coming to an end here soon, we also provide updates on bills that may impact the disability community. That is anything from voting to healthcare to transportation and more. And if you are interested and want to dig deeper into that, we also have a full list of those bills and their simple language summaries available on our website. So you can learn more about our programs, take a look at some of our resources, sign up to be a member at azachieve-tempearc.org. I can go ahead and put that link in the chat for everybody. And then lastly, I just want to say thank you again to George and everybody for having me today, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. All right, well, thank you so much, Ryan. We have information about your group also self on our website. So that's also another thing that we can contact you about.
That is correct. We also, I'm also a self-advocate advisor for the group Self, which is with the Arc of Tempe.
All right, well, there you go. I can also include stuff about Arizona Achieve, so if you can send me that, I can put it on our website.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. I see that Rachel's hand is up.
Yeah. Rachel, I believe she posted a question. What about protesting?
Well, I did ask. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm not on camera. But I'm 42 years old, white, female. Have got to spend some time on the Navajo reservation, so I just wanted to relate with that. And my friend Gino had a program, but anyway, that was a blessing for me. A gift, I should say, a gift from the creator. Anyway, and I'm newer here. Is protesting part of something that could be considered advocacy, you know, within following legal requirements that you'd need to hold a protest, which I'm not sure if you need you know, some things like that today to be able to have, you know, protests and stuff like that. But I was just curious.
Yeah, you know, protesting is definitely a very vital part of systems change and systems advocacy. And as a coalition, although we may not directly participate in any protests, we are there to as be advisors and support different self-advocacy groups and our members from across Arizona. So if there was a self-advocacy group or if members of the coalition wanted to go and participate in a protest, let's say down at the Arizona State Legislature, we would help them and support them and you know, figuring out how to organize for that effort. I hope that answers your question.
All right.
Yes, I think so. Thank you. So, and in supporting and helping organize, you as a program aren't quite taking part in that part of the civil, I don't want to say disobedience, but sometimes that's occasionally what gains attention. But maintaining within the realms of, you know, still being able to make the moves like you were able to go to was it the
The
house,
disability, yeah, the disability
you know,
policy seminar.
yes, exactly. Without being, you know, I don't want to say blacklisted, but you kind of not neutral, but provide people with how the individual, like you said in the beginning, how the individual self-advocates, I guess, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that is correct. And as an advisor, a self-advocate advisor, and then some of the other maybe paid staff that are working on the self-advocacy coalition, we can't again directly participate in any protests or lobby, but we can provide education, and we can provide support to members of the coalition. Um, and again, we see I don't think it'd be controversial to say that civil disobedience is definitely, a part of advocacy movements, and it can often be warranted. So we're there to support self advocates all across the state for whatever issues they want to speak to their lawmakers about.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ryan.